You know what's cool? Spinning center caps. Well, not really spinning, more like floating, so that your center cap logo stays in the same place even when the wheel, is moving like this. And this is made specifically for the C8 Corvette. So we're gonna check that out all in today's video. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And like I said, we're going to be checking out a product here, which is floating hubcaps for your C8 Corvette. They come from dynamiccaps.com. And I'm pretty excited to share this with you guys because, I mean, yeah, while floating hubcaps isn't anything new per se, this is the first time I've seen them, at least for the C8 Corvette. So this is kind of pretty interesting that this is now coming into the C8 market. And if you're interested in getting a pair of these for your C8 Corvette, you can check out dynamiccaps.com and use my discount code New Horizon should you choose to buy these. So let's take a closer look at this product. So I have one already with the center cap from one of my wheels already, but the actual product itself looks like this. So all it is essentially just a modular piece that instead of having your OEM hubcap assembly, which looks like this, it just kind of replaces it with this piece, which has this front face that always is basically going to stay level. It uses a high-grade ball bearing to be able to keep up with the rotations of your wheels, and then a weight to keep it all level on the bottom. And overall concept-wise, that's the gist of how this works. So it's really simple to install. All you have to do is just essentially replace your hubcap that you have from the assembly, and then use it on this. And you can use the face off of your original hubcaps. This part of the piece that was from my OEM hubcap basically came off. It's simple to come off. I'll show you how to do it real quick, and you can just then install it on there. Or if you decide that you don't want to use your OEM hubcaps, you want to use aftermarket ones, you can do that as well. They have the option to be able to use different versions of hubcaps. So there's different options for you kind of deal. Now these retail for about $135, which is not too bad of a deal. These are starting to become popular from what I'm seeing, and you're seeing prices around like $150, $160 just for these assemblies. So $135 is a good competitive price. And then if you add my coupon code on top of that, that's not too bad either. And they really are very easy to install. That being said, it is easier and recommended to take the wheels off to actually pop out the OEM hubcaps. I did try to pry them off with a trim tool without having to take the wheels off, just to show you could. You technically can, but it's not really recommended. And if you are deciding to do it that way, you definitely want to use plastic pry tools, not metal. You will scratch the heck out of your wheels if you decide to use metal. So definitely use plastic pry tools if you're deciding that you don't want to take the wheels off. If you do decide to take your wheels off, it's literally just using your finger on the back end of your wheel and just pop them out. So these are 3D printed actually, which is kind of an interesting application of 3D printed. I believe this looks like it is ABS 3D printed, so it's not going to deform or anything like that. I actually used to be really into 3D printing a while back and did a whole bunch of different things, including 3D printing in carbon fiber infused PLA kind of deal. And that was actually pretty cool. So I actually did a whole bunch of different stuff with 3D printing. So I can appreciate that this is 3D printed, and the way it's 3D printed, it is going to be rugged enough to be able to handle being there as a hubcap kind of deal. So I'm not worried about this breaking or anything like that. The high grade wheel bearing that's installed in this is actually really, really good. It's made to withstand the fast rotations of wheels kind of deal. So I'm not worried about this at all. And I mean, yeah, this is pretty straightforward kind of deal. So now that I talked about this a little bit, let's go ahead and get these installed on the car and show you how it looks while the car is in motion actually. Alrighty, so we have finished installing the dynamic caps onto the C806 wheels, and they are looking pretty awesome. It's one of those little special details that you don't really think about until you actually have it, that having all of those logos just line up, be perfectly horizontal, especially if you're like at a car show and stuff like that, it just looks really, really good. So it sits a little bit outside of flush, like from the OEM, which is kind of expected because, you know, it has a wheel bearing in it and it's supposed to be free floating, so it has to stick out a little bit, but it is barely noticeable. And frankly, I just like how it looks overall with that detail, especially with that emblem just sitting nice and level. And rolling, it does work exactly how it's intended, in like keeping that center logo always looking level kind of deal. And the install is pretty straightforward. Now, how I said before, you can do it two ways. You can do this install with just having the wheels on, but it is a little bit harder, a little bit trickier to get those wheel caps off because you have to get something very thin plastic that's rigid enough, because you don't want to use metal and scrape up your wheels. And yeah, it's a little bit of a hassle. It's just honestly easier to take the time to take the wheels off using just a simple jack stand. You don't have to go with a fancy quick jack like I had that lifts the whole car up. It's just a little easier for me, and I have them. But you can do one wheel at a time. And frankly, when you have the wheel off, you might as well clean it, because that's exactly what I did, because my wheels were a little bit filthy and it was just a lot easier to clean when the wheels are off. So I took the extra little bit of time and opportunity to just clean each wheel with it off. And the actual replacement of the logo onto these dynamic caps hubs, super straightforward, super easy. Definitely anybody can do it, especially from home, so long as you have, you know, the means to be able to get those wheel hubs off, the OEM ones off, so you can then reuse them. So for the price point for a special detail piece like this, I definitely recommend this piece. If you're interested, definitely check out their website. Use my discount code if you choose to buy it, so you save yourself a little bit of money. And yeah, definitely check out any of my other videos, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.